revolutions and starvation. This is a global communist revolution. The coming famine dream vision is part of the seer's vision about communism being resurrected in the West, and the insight I had blew me away. It is so simple. Yet for years I could not figure it out. I always asked, what does the seer mean by this time it will be worse, this time communism will be worse? For more than a decade I asked this question, to no avail. I asked this question many, many times. So now I ask you, what do you think the seer meant by when he said that this time communism will be worse? Please pause the video, think about it, sit back, ponder it, walk around your house if you have to. Think about it before I mention the insight. This way the insight will really make sense. Think about it, ask yourself, what did the seer mean when he said that this time communism will be worse? Now I will give you the insight. It hit me like a flash of light. In fact, what happened was I had a series of images flash before me and then it sunk in. To understand the statement, we have to go back in time to see what the communists did. To do that, we have to go to the history books, because your communist indoctrination camps and the electric toilet, also known as the television, is not going to tell you because it is run by hardcore Marxist communists. The simple answer is starvation and revolution. The starving of the people has always been the communists' weapon. Is it making sense now? Is it starting to sink in? Let me show you. The global supply chains, the climate agenda are all tools of the globalists who are communists to the core. The coming famine is the communism in the West, but this time it will be worse. Do you remember, during the Bolshevik Revolution, in that revolution they stoked up anti-Christian sentiment and then the famines. In this case, the West is having this all done at the same time. The food shortages, the critical race theory, the flooding of migrants, soon the removing of Christianity, which was part of the first dream vision. Look at Australia, look at Canada, this is communism, this is Marxism, and the party has not even begun yet. In America things will be even worse. The demographic decline in America will be and is a disaster. Those patriot Americans do not even know what they are in for. The communism in the West is here the seer spoke about, but in South Africa, the starvation and famine will be usher in a different revolution. These are the deceptions. The dream vision from October 2021. This is the dream vision I did not put online that I had, but here it is. I see a man in Europe, he is behind a podium, he is speaking but I cannot hear him. He is addressing South Africa. I then see a map before me, I see the equator in Africa. I see it is around this area, could be the countries to the north of the equator. I see him convince our people, our nation. I see our nation, they look like they are blind, their eyes are glossed over, like they're experiencing horrors but cannot deal with reality. They look like zombies, standing there. Then when I see this man convince us to get involved in this part of the world, it is as if our people begin to wake up from their slumber, they begin to awaken. They feel important on the world stage. I see the leader speaks very convincing, very genuinely, he speaks as if he has our interests at heart. I see the performance is amazing, your typical politician. I then see our men are ready to get involved, they're all packed, they are now ready to leave. I see they leave the country, and then I see the armed revolutionaries sneak in from behind us, they attack us, they crept in so slowly, so cunningly. With such evil intent, armed, and they attack us when we leave. I then see the politician's face when this happens, his entire spirit changes, and this is the deception. It was all a deception to lure us north in order to attack us. I saw this politician for what he was, I saw the raw spirit underneath, and it is beyond evil, and the treachery is beyond words how evil it was to lure us. To then have them attack us from behind from the eastern side. They sneak around what looks like a mountain, armed but very, very sneakily. A few days after I had this dream vision. It could have been a few weeks, I realized this could very well be part of the seer's words when he said we could or would move north and there would be darkness over the republic. The answer and solution is always to be ahead of the enemy. I thought about the fact why I never had another dream vision before putting this up. You see, I am of the firm belief that many of these dream visions are given for a future when most will have forgotten about them, but I know. The Almighty showed me in 2014 that there are those who will know and be guided in the Spirit. Remember, trust no man, trust the Almighty. All visions and dream visions, I believe, are given to me, and I have asked in prayer. My suggestion to you is pray to the Most High and ask for clarification on everything you hear, and may the dream visions be fulfilled by the Most High. Do not be deceived, do not fall for the deception. Be on your guard when you see this politician look to you, suddenly trying to sweet talk you, trying to get you involved in something above or around the equator. You know exactly 100% what they're trying to do. Be on your guard during this cover of darkness. We have food, we produce food, so the revolution brewing will not be the same in our country as what they're attempting to do in other countries. Here it will be a bloody revolution. It will not be a bloody revolution, it is already a bloody revolution. I want to point out a few things. I want to ask you, how many international diplomats have been in this country from the West? How many have been in this country since 1994? Now I want to ask you, why have they been so silent about the 116 race-based laws and the farm murders in the land? How many kings or chiefs have you heard say anything about the farm murders and what has been done to the whites of this country? These are important questions to ask, important things to consider for our future. See, what is happening in the West is divine judgment. When we fought the communists, as we still are to this very day, the West were quick to call us racists. They said we hated blacks, and now this is what is called divine judgment or karma. Pick your words, same meaning. Australia lied against us, supported the ANC, including Canada, New Zealand, and those intellectual communists in America. All the nations that lied about the white man in Africa will be silenced. All those who lied about us, put sanctions on us, did not put sanctions on us, they put sanctions on themselves. They were not lying against us, they were lying against the Most High. A Christian nation, whether you believe in God or not is not my point. We were not a malicious nation, we helped many nations in the past. Those nations lied against God, they were against God, not against us. For if you are for God, who can be against you? This is nothing. Wait until the reality hits home and those nations all go under. Australia will be no more in the future. Go back, read my comments. Australia and New Zealand, you will fall. What little you have will be taken, your lies will come to nothing. You will have to in the future seek refuge among your accused. You will have to live with your white South African racists, for you will be overrun. You will lose that country. You will lose what you call home. As you had done to the white man of Africa, so shall be done to you, and worse. As for America, the dream vision was explicit, like the famine dream vision. You will be destroyed, not completely but 80% or more of your country will be destroyed. And as for Britain, I pleaded for you, I told your nation, I mentioned on the first video. I said, do not remove your laws. You have ignored the Most High, you have chosen to act as a god, you think you can remove those laws and still be protected. Because you shot your laws out in March 2020, and because you will shelve your laws, you will be destroyed, wiped off the map, totally vanished, nothing left. Heed the warning, do not shelve your laws. Now to talk about something completely freaky, so unbelievable, but before we get there, just to repeat. I speak and know more Zulu words than I do of the Russian, Polish or Belarusian language. Do you remember in June 2021, I had a vision before I fell asleep where I saw a pilot fly over the Latvia, Lithuania and Polish area. I used the map in the video. In the video I saw a female pilot fly over this region and she mentioned a word, which I could only write it the way I heard it pronounced. It was Krokshashanavazianam. This is more or less what I heard and tried to spell it. For months I had hoped for a translation. I had a few people post comments on the meaning, a lot of them sounded good, but I believe the true meaning has been found. We see things picking up with Russia. The dream vision I had where I saw a Russian pilot fly over Poland, Latvia and Lithuania, and I had the word Krokshashanavazianam. I could not find the interpretation, but someone left a comment saying the words spoken which I heard were Polish. Now the vision comes to life. With hindsight, we can see that the vision is playing out. In the video I spoke of an invasion of the West, and we see it coming to pass. Praise the Almighty. The translation of the phrase I heard was and is not only a Polish word, but the same translation is also in Belarusian. Let that sink in. I know many European languages are the same or similar, but what are the chances that a translation of the same word is found in Polish and Belarusian and it translates? Step 1 completed. Not only is it a Polish word, but the same variation is a Belarusian word that translates and sounds very close. The difference between the two languages is probably the same as Afrikaans and Dutch. So we see the word translates. Step 1 completed.